You have 48 hours. Christina didn't shout. She didn't need to. She stood in the living room like a realtor evaluating square footage. Her husband, Jonathan, lingered behind her, polished smile, pressed shirt, superiority clinging to him like expensive cologne. This house belongs to us now. I was holding my morning coffee, steam curling upward. The sun still soft through the kitchen blinds. My name is Michelle, 30 years old. Software engineer. Disciplined. Predictable. Calm. I wake up at 5. I write code while the world sleeps. I believe in logic. But that morning, logic didn't prepare me for betrayal. Christina hadn't stepped into this house for years. Not for holidays. Not for birthdays. Not when Dad lost everything in that retirement scam. Yet now she was here, claiming territory. Before I could answer, Mom stepped forward. They can make better use of the house, Michelle. You've always been alone. They have a plan. A plan. Something inside me didn't ignite. It froze. A plan? I asked quietly. The kind where someone else pays off the $150,000 mortgage? Silence. Jonathan blinked. Christina's jaw tightened. Dad stared at the floor. 3 years ago, foreclosure loomed. They came to me desperate. Save the house, they said. It's for the family. I paid every dollar. I postponed buying my own place. I drained savings. I worked overtime. The sofa. The 65-inch OLED TV. The washer and dryer. The roof repairs. The repainting. All me. And now I had 48 hours to disappear. I smiled. Fine, I said softly. I'll start preparing. They thought it was surrender. It wasn't. It was strategy. And they had no idea what I was about to remove from their lives. The moment my bedroom door closed, the operation began. If they wanted the house, they could have the shell. I opened my laptop. Searched, emergency movers. Portland. Same-day service. Green Mountain Movers answered. Daniel. Professional. Groggy but alert. Noon, I said. Quiet crew. When I listed the inventory, his tone shifted. This wasn't family drama. This was logistics. For the next few hours, I moved like a machine. Receipts out of the folder labeled home. Some edges worn. Some printed on fading thermal paper. I walked room to room placing sticky notes. Mine. 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 The sofa where I imagined future movie nights. Mine. The dining chairs from last year's bonus. Mine. The microwave. The washer. The television. Mine. At exactly noon, the intercom buzzed. Daniel's crew moved with silent efficiency. No gossip. No judgment. Just removal. The sofa went first. I felt nothing. Not grief. Not anger. Just attachment. The TV followed. Then the washer. Then the appliances. The warmth of the house gone in sections. By 2 p.m., the rooms echoed. Curtains stripped. Corners hollow. The house felt unfamiliar. Like it finally reflected the truth. I photographed the receipt. Documentation matters. I left the key on the bare dining table, the only piece I didn't buy. Grandfather's table. That one stayed. When I walked out, I didn't look back. Because I wasn't leaving empty-handed. I was leaving prepared. And 48 hours later, my phone exploded. Voicemails stacked up like unpaid debts. Christina's voice cracked. There's nothing here. She took everything. Dad sounded stunned. Michelle, you've gone too far. Too far? I had simply taken back what I paid for. That evening, I sat across from Rebecca, my best friend, and my attorney. Her office overlooked downtown Portland. Glass walls. Clean lines. I laid the receipts across her desk. Then I placed an old photograph beside them. Grandfather Frank. Hand on my shoulder. Standing in the doorway where he used to mark my height. I don't want defense, I told her. I want offense. Her eyes sharpened. What are you thinking? I don't think the inheritance was clean. 2 days later she texted. Come now. No emojis. No explanation. When I walked into her office, she didn't smile. She turned the monitor toward me. Brace yourself. On the screen. A digitized document. Last will and testament of Frank Holmes. My pulse slowed. Rebecca zoomed in on one line. And everything changed. All real estate, including the residence in suburban Portland, shall be bequeathed solely to my beloved granddaughter, Michelle Holmes. The words blurred. What does that mean? I whispered. It means, Rebecca said evenly. The house was legally yours the moment your grandfather passed. The room felt smaller. They told me there was no will. Rebecca's jaw tightened. They lied. They concealed it. They let you pay off a loan against property you already owned. The memory surfaced. Grandfather marking my height on the doorway. You'll be the one to protect this house someday, he said. It hadn't been sentimental. It had been instruction. They had watched me sacrifice. Watched me drain savings. Watched me carry debt. All while knowing the house was mine. And then they tried to evict me. From my own property. Something colder than anger settled in my chest. Clarity. Teach them reality, I said. Rebecca smiled. The sharp kind. The next morning, a certified letter arrived at that house. And inside it was the beginning of the end. 2 enclosures. First, confirmation that every item removed was legally mine. Any theft claims would be challenged. Second, proof of property ownership. A copy of the will. Immediate vacating demanded. Daily damages for unlawful occupancy. Calls flooded in. Rebecca answered one. My mother screaming in the background. Michelle will not be speaking, Rebecca replied calmly. All communication in writing. They hired a lawyer. Claimed grandfather wasn't of sound mind. Rebecca buried them in evidence. Medical records. Video of him laughing through a chess tournament. Sharp. Focused. Brilliant. The judge upheld the will. Eviction granted. When the house sold, it sold fast. Solid structure. Quiet neighborhood. The money became my exit. Christina's marriage crumbled without the free house. My parents left town when the truth spread. I blocked every number. No address. No access. But I wasn't done transforming. I was just beginning to feel free. Months later, I left Portland. Denver offered something cleaner. Quieter. A startup hired me as a project manager. I had always been financially independent. Now I was emotionally independent too. My new apartment felt different. Minimal. Intentional. Mine. No guilt woven into the walls. No obligations stitched into the furniture. A year later, Rebecca visited. She looked around slowly. This feels like you, she said. And she was right. I wasn't reborn by revenge. I wasn't empowered by punishment. I was restored by truth. They tried to push me out of my own house. Instead, they pushed me back into myself. And this time, I owned everything.